Oftentimes it is said that intelligence is the bedrock of law enforcement, or to ensure that things do not go out of hand and who's doing what you need to know. And this is something which is part of state policy for centuries, especially in Bharatvarsh, if not across the world. But when it comes to Jammu and Kashmir, this perhaps has a whole new dimension. Joining us now is the DG CID, Shri R.R. Swain, who I have to congratulate because he will soon be the DG Jammu and Kashmir. Congratulations, sir. First up, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you.
Sir, my first question to you, 4 years since the abrogation of 370, how have things changed? Because for a large part of it, you have been the ears on the ground. You and your team.
Yes, actually, this is a question which we often put to ourselves also. There are a couple of ways of describing as to how things have changed and to what extent things have changed. May I cite one example?
Sure.
In 2018, we went for Panchayat Raj elections and the urban local bodies. That was a time when nobody was willing to come forward and stand for elections. There are almost about, I would say about 6,000 villages in J&K. But for the Jammu province in Kashmir, it was absolutely a tough call, especially in South Kashmir, to find a candidate. We conducted the elections in 2 phases, once in 2018 and subsequently in 2020. Even in 2020, things were still tough.
Yeah.
It had eased, the situation had improved marginally. And everyone would require security, and post-elections the challenge used to be how do you provide them security. Cluster security used to be organized, hostels and camps, and then vehicles to take them out. It was a self-defeating exercise because Panchayati Raj elections were held primarily to have connections with the people. So the politicians, the grassroots politicians being taken out from their ecosystem and put in hotels or in cluster security and then taken. So the challenge was truly humongous. Today, as we stand in 2023, November is about to begin, we are in a situation where people are crying out for elections. And I can assure you, we are equally pleasantly surprised that people would like to participate in elections for every single position, be it urban local bodies or Panchayati Raj elections, or for that matter, MLA elections. There is a sea change in terms of eagerness to vote and compete also for electoral positions, or
So that itself societally reflects some mindset change, or perhaps a certain sense of security that they can step out and do it.
Yes. Actually, I mean, to what extent a common Kashmiri or the opinion makers of Kashmir have sort of understood that electoral democracy finally matters in a democracy and therefore it must be resorted to in full spirit is something which you can debate. But mind you, even if there was an urge, a large number of people felt that it should be this way. But the fear of the lurking fear of the Pakistani gun and their guns and their proxies, every nook and corner, some with gun and some without gun, that fear was palpable. Today, that fear has subsided.
So let me ask you, a fly on the wall once told me that nobody wanted to keep the shop shut, but nobody wanted to be the one to keep it open. So, did they come and tell you, sir, ek tala tod dijiye, baki hum khol lenge?
Several times, Arhan. The true story is that a large number of common citizens from all walks of life, be it the shopkeeper, the trade, the commerce, the industry, be it the schools, the colleges, the universities, be it the bar associations in the Srinagar city or in the districts, be it the masjids and imams and khatibs, every sector of the society had always indicated the Biyamas कि साहब normal life, love. You can't have a system where some people profit and ask youngsters, teenagers, जिनकी मूछ दाढ़ी भी ढंग से नहीं आती है, तो उनको मरने के लिए तैयार कर देते हैं. And they send their children to Delhi, Dubai and London to study. So ये duplicity और ये खत्म करो. हाँ. पर the last common man is helpless. He was looking at the Indian state, as I always say, that it is for you to take out that bold step. And you can't ask the last common man to display his loyalty when we ourselves have not ended the duality in a decisive manner. And having ended it, let's ask him. He has already endorsed. He has already endorsed.
So let me ask you, sir. There is this whole narrative. Now, this is another important aspect of owning the narrative and controlling the narrative. So, always we've seen the wrong side has always controlled the narrative. How has that changed? Have we been able to wrest the narrative back and set it right? Especially at the ground level.
Again, this is an area where I am so uncomfortable because this is a battle where we have fared very poorly. And I have no qualms in saying that the adversary has run away with a success and they would score several times better than us. And the more unfortunate part of it is we were being held guilty of the crime which we never committed. And we were being painted as to be doing no good when actually so much good was happening or was with the intent of making it happen was there. Partly on the basis of the fear of the gun. A journalist, often we are accused that the journalists here are not free. When Lhasa Cole is killed or Sujat Bukhari is shot dead, and you know they maintain ledger sheets of loyalty from across through their proxies. यहाँ पे लोग बैठ के ना हिसाब देते हैं, जनाब आज इसने इतना लिखा, आपके हक में जो है अभी सुई जो है वो 50 से इधर को चला गया, 60 चला गया है हिंदुस्तान के खिलाफ, तो वो वहां से हुक्म आता है, कर दो. So who is under the threat? Or who is under the fear? Tell me one occasion in which a journalist has been put to death at the instance of the Indian state. At the most you would have said that, well, you please do not, I mean the rule of law or the framework, the reasonable restrictions of, you know, when the freedom of expression is being exercised and you deviate and go into the domain of incitement and encouragement and advocacy of an ideology, which is certain. Yes. Yeah. So distinguish it from criticism of, I think it is people are free, people here are even can have abused the highest office in the, but that's how it is. This is the democracy. You do that with the president of the Bar Association if he is a secessionist. You will have bullets. People have had bullets in their head.
So my final question is to the cadre, the team, those who are part of Jammu and Kashmir police. For a long time, they have not just been unsung heroes, they have copped a lot of flack in society, ostracized for doing their duty, for donning the uniform, vilified, targeted, threatened. So much has happened. Not often do we speak about them. Has life changed for them? Is there now respect in the eyes of the people, the very people who would shun them in the past?
A question which is so dear to my heart. When I came back from Central Deputation after a decade and a half of service with the Government of India, the first question that I asked was perhaps the question which you raised. I got this answer yesterday only. A young DSP, he is posted in the downtown. So he rang up, he said, sir, he was a little while ago serving with me in the special investigating unit. He said, sir, you recall in one of my investigation, I felt so nervous that I took my family, my wife and my children and hid myself for 2 days in a houseboat to have 2 nights of sleep. This is 2021. Today he said, sir, I'm happy that in a normal vehicle, I can take my family, move around, you know. So surely it is connected with the first question that you posed.
Yeah.
We have about 90,000 of regular policemen all spread. They have had the toughest of the times because, you see, for many of the things which was happening in the society, they were only the responders to contain it from precipitating into a kind of a volcano. You would find the entire law and order situation in J&K since 1990, even at the height of militancy and terrorism. पथराव होता था, पथराव को रोकना, पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टी को जलने नहीं देना, आर्सन को करके रखना और लिमिटेड फोर्स यूज करके उसको फिर, बिकॉज द अदर साइड ऑलवेज वांटेड दैट द साइकिल ऑफ वायलेंस मरना चाहिए, हाँ, द सिविलियंस और द कॉमन मैन शुड डाई, यू नो. सो बट द पुलिसमैन ऑलवेज एक्सरसाइज रिस्ट्रेंट, प्रोपोर्शनेट फोर्स, लाठी से काम चलाना, टीयर गैस पे चलाना. 3 decades में he has maintained order on the streets to the extent possible. Can they do better? Is a question which anyone, it is easy with hindsight to, you know, pose those questions. But because I have seen, because I came to the state in the early 90s, I have seen how things were bad. It is easy to, you know, be critical. But the fact of the matter is, it's a shining example of local police from amongst the, you know, community, son of the soil, but picking up the national unity agenda, national security agenda, forefront. No comforts of a cantonment, no comforts of, what you call a group center of a paramilitary force. Living within the water, amongst the crocodile, and yet fighting. Which force will do it?
Well, it is certainly the J&K police that is doing it right now. Sir, congratulations once again and wonderful talking to you. Let's hope this is a start of many more conversations in the near future and positive ones at that. Thank you very, very much, sir.
Thank you, Anand. It was a pleasure talking.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.